So I spotted Andrew Connell, so I'm just going to hide in here for a second and wait for him to walk past.
So, yeah, I'll have so we'll put forward one of our customers.
Yo.
What's up,
Hey,
man?
man, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing, man?
Oh, yeah, good, man. What brings you to beautiful Seattle?
Well, a conference. We're here at SP Fest Seattle, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
You just jumped out of the booth.
What's your favorite thing to do in Seattle?
Come to SP Fest.
Seriously? Not the chowder?
No, you know what?
Coffee?
Yeah, no, it's going to the Flight Museum of Flight.
Okay, yeah. Any time for sightseeing this trip?
No, not on this trip.
Were you able to catch the keynote yesterday at that fest?
No, I wasn't able to catch the keynote. I was working on my session.
Oh, right, yeah. And what session was that?
It was doing robust and reliable SharePoint framework components with Azure DevOps.
Right. Large crowd then.
Actually, it was. It was a good.
What workshop did you run this year?
So I did two. I did one on introduction to the SharePoint framework on Monday, and then I did a workshop on using React in the SharePoint framework on Tuesday.
Gotcha. And I guess the talking about the SPFX is your favorite speaking topic right now?
Right now it is. Yeah, that's all I'm talking about.
And what's the best thing about the modern framework?
You know, it's fun. Like every skill set you learn for being able to extend SharePoint now when you're using the SharePoint framework, those skill sets, they're just web dev skill sets, and so you can take advantage of those in outside of SharePoint as well. So
yeah.
No,
we saw that.
skills.
We saw that with the Hyperfish stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we can now do our web parts within Office 365, but they can also be installed into Teams.
Exactly.
Which
Yeah.
is super cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any of your own favorite speakers in the Office 365 community?
Oh man, gotta play favorites. Now, do I mention everybody or none of them? I like going to see Sebastian Lever.
Yeah.
I really like to go watch him speak. I like his style.
Right, gotcha. And where is the best place to learn about SPFX?
Aside from the SharePoint Framework docs, I'm a little partial, but my training is pretty darn good.
Okay, yeah, I guess plug there, right?
Yeah, softball all over the plate. I gotta swing.
What's your favorite part of the SharePoint Office 365 community?
Favorite, how engaged everybody is, how much everybody gives back and wants to they want to help each other and they contribute solutions without being asked to do stuff.
Right, and what's the next conference here where we can see you speak at?
You'll see me at Ignite. You'll see me at Ignite in November.
Yeah.
That'll be the next one.
Atlanta? No, it's not Orlando. It's Orlando again.
Right down the street
I know,
from me. It's
and
great.
It's going to be so much better in November than bloody September.
It will be better. It will not be nearly as bad. Yeah.
No, exactly. Do you have a favorite Office 365 event?
A favorite event? You know what? I like the. I know I'm playing partial here. I love the SharePoint Fest events. All three of them. I think the attendees are probably the most engaging of all the events I go to. So I have the best conversations with them.
Yeah, sure. What was your first impression of SharePoint?
Of SharePoint, I hated it. I was forced into it.
So when was this, like 1974?
September 2003. We had to pick a portal solution for our company. SharePoint was number 4 on our list, and we were going to go at number 1, and the company said, we just signed an enterprise agreement with Microsoft. You're using SharePoint.
And what were you doing before that? Like, what were you using? Any kind?
It was all homegrown, all bespoke stuff, yeah.
Gotcha. Now, how did you get into SharePoint development and consulting in the first place?
So I was forced at the time. So we were working on our intranet. We said we're going to use this. Then we had to customize it. So we just started to it wasn't doing what we needed to do. So we just kept customizing it to do what we needed for our intranet. That was the big thing. And then from there, we kind of maxed out on the project, and we had brought a company in to teach us. And that company reached out to me after about a year and said, would you like to start teaching for us? I left them, one thing led to another, went independent, and started doing consulting.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned your own training. What's your elevator pitch?
Okay, so I don't have a good one. I teach SharePoint framework development to web developers, not just SharePoint developers. And I do it in a video-based, on-demand, at your leisure training class. Deep 30, 40 hours of training material, demos, and lectures.
Now, I'm going to struggle with this, but where did you come up with the name Voitanos?
Voitanos.
Is that like some gaming character or something?
No, it's not. It was the name of another business I started that I decided not to do. And when I started the training business, I was like, well, I already got this thing registered, I got a domain and everything, so this will be the easy part, coming up with the name.
Yeah, and what did you decide to start your own business?
Well, it was kind of the only option I had when you're wanting to sell my own training. I didn't want to sell it under my name. I wanted to sell it under a brand because I wanted to have other courses eventually be under it as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't want people to always think you had to go to Andrew for it, because eventually I'd like to have other other people involved with it as well.
Right, yeah. Yeah, just in case, you got hit by a bus or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah, it's an asset, or maybe one day I want to end up selling it or something.
Yeah.
But really, I just want to be able to just give me more option to kind of expand it.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of teaching Office 365?
I love, what is my favorite part of teaching? That's a good question. It's the web development stuff to show people that this is, today with SharePoint Framework, that it's just standard web dev. You don't, I don't like when other people make it seem like everything is SharePointy. But if I can get them just be, you're a web dev and your stuff is going to run in SharePoint, these skills you can use elsewhere, like I talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do you prefer online or in-person training?
It's a mix. I prefer to do online, but for conferences and workshops, I like to do them in person.
Yeah.
I don't like to do like the multi-day classes in person. It just, once you've got a class, you've taught it one or two times, you get into a repetitive thing, and it's an energy suck out of it.
Yeah. What's the most in-demand Office 365 topic you give training for?
SharePoint Framework.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have you been a Microsoft MVP now?
16 years? 15 years.
Right.
15 years, yeah.
And what's the coolest place you visited for work?
Coolest place I visited? Norway. Oslo, Norway, or Trondheim, Norway. Those are my favorite places to go.
Any reason why?
It was so different than what I was used to. I got to spend more time than I intended to there because I got stuck there when the volcano shut down air travel in Europe for an extra week.
Right.
Yeah. I've been there a few times now. I love it. I love Norway.
Right. So looking back on the MVPs, what's that best thing about it being an MVP?
It's the passion around everybody else that is also an MVP. When we all get together and come up with solutions, everyone is just trying to figure something out. Nobody's trying to work an angle, or most people are not trying to work an angle what's in their best interest.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that everyone is it's like a very intellectual, like helping and learning environment.
Yeah, and I think I've done a few of these interviews now, and all the MVPs that I've spoken to have always said it's the community, it's the other MVPs. It's not so much the program or some of the content that comes out, but it's more so that the supporting network of other MVPs that they're surrounded by.
Well, it's stuff that I was struggling with over the last 2 weeks, and I knew there was one guy that had been working on it. We sat in the speaker room yesterday, and we just started beating around the bush, and it's like, what about this? What about this? It's like, I didn't have these questions, but now I figured out stuff I didn't know I needed to know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I heard that SharePoint was your idea. Is that true?
It's true. It actually is. We started it in 2007 in the fall at a conference called SharePoint Connections in Las Vegas.
I remember a thing called the SP Runners, which I vaguely was a part of for about a month until I realized I didn't like running. Yeah. Were you ever part of the SP Runners?
I ran with them, yes. We kind of helped, the company I used to have, we kind of helped keep that going for a while. I still do it every once in a while, but yeah, I do it a little bit.
Any other Microsoft technology you'd love to see go away?
Go away?
Yeah.
Yammer.
And what's an Office 365 app that you can't live without?
None of them. I could do without any of them. I've spent a lot of time with like Google Apps and Google Drive and Slack, and I can get by with anything. So there's nothing that is I could not do without. The thing about it that I like Office 365 is everything goes well together.
Yeah. Now, did you head out to Microsoft HQ this trip?
No, I didn't. No, I'm not going to make a chance.
What Office 365 app do you use for your own work?
For my own work, OneNote and Outlook probably the most. And now, which is kind of ironic because I've been pretty vocal against it, but now OneDrive.
Right.
I love OneDrive.
How do you stay up to date with the latest Office 365 content?
Oh, I don't. Nobody does.
No.
Anybody that says that they do is lying. I focus on the dev slice of it, and I stay up to date on that. But all the other stuff, there's so many features that come out that I have no clue about it until like 6 months later.
All right. Favorite podcast other than the Microsoft Cloud Show?
Experts on Experts by Dax Shepard.
That is really fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I really like that. What news can we expect on the next episode of the Cloud Show or the Microsoft Cloud Show?
Our podcast. So we've got we just recorded today. We're going to talk about Azure DevOps, and then we talk about some new stuff with the Graph around the Graph Toolkit and a content pack that they added, and a couple little new things with Azure as well. They're pretty cool.
Right. Now, if you could replace your co-host CJ, who would you get?
Honestly, wow. You know what? I probably want to get Rob Windsor. I probably want to get Rob Windsor. He's the guy I'd like to have on the show. Another SharePoint guy.
Right, now, do you got any double XLs in the Microsoft Cloud Show t-shirts?
Offhand, right now we don't. We need to get some more. We got to do another run pretty soon.
Now, there's a ton of space and banter on the Microsoft Cloud Show with CJ. Is that a passion of yours?
It is. Oh yeah, I'm a space geek, hardcore.
Well, I know CJ is.
Oh yeah, it's a very. That comes very naturally to both of us.
Yeah. Okay. Do you got antennas attached to your house as well?
No,
so
I don't.
So you can monitor airplanes.
I don't do that, but I can stand at my window when a rocket goes off. I can watch it online and then look outside and I can see it go.
Do you stream it for CJ?
I have before.
That's cute.
We've done a Facebook Live, or not Facebook Live. What is it called? FaceTime before.
Oh dear. Any plans to go to the moon?
No. When it becomes an option, I definitely will make plans.
All right. Any plan? Oh no, I was about to ask that one. How do you keep up to date with all of your content?
Oh man, so it's really hard. Thankfully things happen on a very on a schedule of about a month and a half between each one, and so when that happens, I can see, is there anything that's radically changed that I have to go update, and if I do, try to do it with text, but if I need to, I'll also re-record a video and publish it on the next release of my course.
All right, cool. Now, you've already surpassed Mark Rackley on time for this interview. Any parting words of wisdom?
Parting words of wisdom. Yeah, okay, how's this? So in terms, I'm speaking to my SharePoint developers out there, always be learning. That's one. And the other one is stop being part of the problem, be part of the solution, or don't get involved.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Andrew. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah.
And I'll let you get back onto it and then go grab some lunch. And
awesome, man.
I'll catch you on.
Cool,
See
thanks
you,
a lot.
Bye.